Before we get started, I want to give a quick thank you to KurtzPel for sponsoring this video. KurtzPel is a third-person action battle game created by the same people who made L-Sword and Grand Chase, two other games that I play and really enjoy. KurtzPel really stands out to me as an anime fan because it is so clearly inspired by anime, and playing this game makes me feel like I'm actually participating in an anime instead of just watching one. I love the epic battle moves and special attacks, which make this game extremely fun to play, and the customizable characters with extremely cool designs really enhance the gaming experience. I was fully immersed into the story and the great character interactions right away. Some of the characters are very developed, and as soon as I started playing, I was able to get into the game and have fun right away. One of the big features of this game is the PvP mode, so you have the option of using your favorite combos against other players too. The game isn't officially out yet, I got to play it early, but I strongly encourage you to click the link in the description and add KurtzPel to your Steam wishlist. What up guys, Goes in here for AnimeUproar, and today I want to talk about Meliodas' own original power or original magic that's been shrouded in so much mystery. Make sure to like and subscribe for more 7 Deadly Sins content, leave suggestions for future videos you would like to see in the comments, and follow us on Instagram at AnimeUproar for quality 7 Deadly Sins memes. We also have polls for what future videos you want to see, so be sure to check us out on Instagram at AnimeUproar. If you haven't guessed by now, there will be spoilers in this video, you've been warned. In chapter 283, while Bon, Meliodas' emotions, and Wild are fighting and losing to the Demon King, Meliodas tries to use full counter, but it has no effect on his father. The Demon King points out that full counter, the move we often associate with Meliodas, is just an imitation of Chandler's original magic. It isn't his own, he just learned it from his teacher. Then he says, and I quote, "Unless you use your own original magic, you cannot fight me. But even that's not possible because you're afraid." So we learn here that Meliodas not only has an original power aside from full counter, like Zeldris and the Demon King do, we also learn that it is strong enough to give him a chance against the Demon King, who is pretty much presented as an all-powerful god in the world of the 7 Deadly Sins. Talk about hype. Then after the fight, Bon brings this piece of information up. He tells Meliodas that he did admit that full counter is a move he was taught by the Demon Gramps, referring to Chandler. So he asks, does that mean you have some other original magic all your own? Meliodas looks like he's blatantly lying when he says, "Now, that's a good question. I gotta say, I'm beyond clueless right now." It's clear that he doesn't want to talk about it, suggesting that the Demon King is right. Meliodas is afraid to use it. Later, Meliodas questions his father about something we've all been wondering. Why is he so obsessed with Meliodas? Even though he always calls him a disgrace and good for nothing, why is Meliodas special? Why doesn't he get preoccupied with Zeldris, his younger son, for example? Why must it be Meliodas? Then the Demon King answers in the official translation, "Because you're a source of destruction." Then he says, "Because you're the source of destruction." This line has been alternatively translated as, "Because you're a destroyer. You're the destroyer." So the reason that the Demon King is preoccupied with Meliodas is because he is the source of destruction, aka the destroyer. I believe that this line has to do with the great power of Meliodas' original magic, which must have great potential for destruction. When Bon and Meliodas' emotions are escaping purgatory, the Demon King reaches his hand out and grabs Meliodas. Meliodas tells Bon, "You don't need to worry about me anymore. I'll make it back on my own strength now, I swear it." Then we see the unimaginable happen. The Demon King, whose outer layer of skin could not even be scratched by Wild, loses his whole right arm. Meliodas' own strength seems to have clearly been a reference to his original magic. The Demon King is shocked. He says to his son, "A power capable of destroying my flesh? Meliodas, it can't be." Then Meliodas responds to his father, "You said so yourself, I'm afraid, and you were right. But now that I've awoken to my power, even when I'm back to the other side, I won't be able to stay there. But it's still what I've decided to do." Then Meliodas laughs because it is the first time his father looks panicked. his father screams, "No!" Not that I even need to mention it, but I will. This whole scene is extremely significant. We get a lot of information about Meliodas' original power. Number 1, he's finally willing to use it. Number 2, it can not only harm the Demon King, it can take off his entire arm. As I mentioned before, Wild couldn't even pierce the top layer of the Demon King's skin, and here Meliodas is able to easily go through the Demon King's armor, skin, and bone, and take off the entire giant arm. Number 3, the power is strong enough to make the Demon King completely lose his cool, and even shout out, "No!" This is a huge deal in and of itself, since the Demon King, viewed to be as powerful as a god, never lost his composure so bad before. Number 4, Meliodas suggests that his original power is so strong that he won't even be able to stay in the human world anymore. Even Escanor, Mile with Sunshine, and the new and improved Bond don't have to worry about staying in the human world, and they're extremely strong. Thus, Meliodas' original power must put him on a whole nother level altogether. We could assume that Meliodas' original power is strong just by looking at how OP his family's original powers are. In the case of his father, the Demon King, his original magic is called the Ruler, and it allows the Demon King to change attacks and weakening maneuvers made against him into healing and rejuvenating ones. In other words, it causes a reversal. Even when someone like Bond can somehow turn the power against him by trying to give him power which ends up hurting him, he can simply deactivate the spell. So, in most cases, the Demon King's original magic makes him near invincible, while Bond just so happened to have a power that is the key to overcoming it. Because of such an ability, he could, in theory, take on the strongest magical attacks you can think of, like Miles' OP Greatest Sun attack, and have it heal and rejuvenate him instead. This can even apply to the strongest attacks that the Supreme Deity may have to offer. So it really is an OP ability, especially since it can simply be deactivated if someone learns how to use it against him. Zeldris' true original power, Ominous Nebula, is also amazing. As Merlin explains, it generates a force field with a powerful suction power around Zeldris. It only works on living things, and physical attacks can't reach, while enemies are assaulted by an attack when they get too close. This attack comes from Zeldris increasing his concentration to the limit. He revolves his own darkness at top speed, creating an intense whirlpool that pulls in all nearby creatures to him. Anything that enters the range is cut down by a slashing attack so swift it's impossible to avoid by any spinal reflex. Combine this attack with the ability he's borrowed from the Demon King, which makes magic attacks useless against him, and Ominous Nebula, too, is a near invincible unstoppable attack. As Merlin points out, it's an attack that is impossible to defend against, and on top of that, physical and magic attacks don't work on him. He can even drastically increase the suction power so that Merlin cannot even teleport away in time. Ludoshell, who thanks to his grace, Flash, is one of the fastest, swiftest characters in the series, admits that Zeldris' power works so quickly that even he can't keep up with it. He suggests that the power is entering a divine realm that surpasses him. Ludoshell's power level is above 200,000, and he still can't do anything about this attack, even with his speed, which demonstrates how OP it truly is. However, unfortunately for Zeldris, Escanor uses the One Form, the incarnation of invincible power, to stop the attack. Nevertheless, he is only able to stop it in this form that lasts for 1 minute of the day. If it was any other time of day, the team members present would have been defenseless. Such OP original powers definitely foreshadow how powerful Meliodas' original magic is gonna be when we see it directly. Remember that Zeldris is weaker than Meliodas, and the Demon King specifically seeks Meliodas' youthful and strong body, suggesting that he has even more potential than the Demon King. He needs Meliodas because he is the source of destruction, the Destroyer. His original power likely has the potential to achieve a level of destruction that Zeldris and even the Demon King himself are incapable of. In chapter 270, when Bond and Meliodas' emotions are talking in Purgatory, Bond points out that now he realizes just how insanely straight up nuts Meliodas' power truly is. He points out that the flames and ice of Purgatory couldn't leave a scratch on his immortal body. Even the Demon King couldn't after 60 years of fighting, but Meliodas left a scar on him that never healed. This leads Bond, who has had a huge transformation himself, to think that when Meliodas is back in his body, he'll be truly invincible. This is probably a nod towards Meliodas' true OP original magic that can seemingly break the rules and even inflict lasting damage on an immortal body, when nothing else could. This great original magic was also hinted at as early as chapter 29 of the manga. A kingdom named Danafall, said to be just as powerful as Leonis, was completely wiped out in the past by Meliodas' power when he lost himself to his wrath. This act makes what the Demon King and the Supreme Deity did to the capital city of wizards, Belialuin, seem like child's play. They rained curses and mists of death, hellfire, and lightning over the city for 1,000 days, destroying it. Meliodas, on the other hand, seems to have completely wiped out an entire kingdom in a moment of wrath. This must be Meliodas' original power. This power to cause mass destruction on a level that no one else, not even the Demon King, could match. This power can destroy immortal flesh and even the Demon King's body. It can destroy an entire powerful kingdom in the blink of an eye. This power must be why the Demon King is obsessed with Meliodas. This power must be why he calls him the Destroyer, or the source of destruction. It makes sense that Meliodas would be scared of this power, because it can cause unimaginable amounts of destruction and death in the human world. The power is so great that Meliodas probably fears that he could not control it fully once it is awakened, so he feels he must leave the human world before he does any irreversible damage. This is why, with his original power, Meliodas has the potential to even surpass the Demon King, who knew that without the power, Meliodas didn't stand a chance against him. But when he saw him use it, he completely lost his composure for the first time, knowing that that power could lead to his own defeat, to a god's defeat. And that is it for today's video. If you liked it, make sure to smash that like button to let me know. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any new 7 Deadly Sins videos. Follow us on Instagram where you can find daily 7 Deadly Sins memes and even vote on future videos. As always, a huge thank you goes out to our supporters over on Patreon, especially to our Pro Hero tier patrons, Keelan and the one and only Gilgamesh. If you like what we do, and it gives you value, you can also support our content by pledging as little as $1 a month, and your name will even be featured in future videos among these amazing people right here. Thank you again to KurtzPel for sponsoring this video. Remember to click the link in the description and add this awesome game to your Steam wishlist. Thank you for all of your support, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboy.